Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Cooks by Carrie. If you're new here, I'm Carrie, and for today's video, I'm sharing how to make this delicious summer fruit cobbler recipe from All Recipes. This recipe was so good, my whole family raved about it, and it was extremely easy to make that it was totally foolproof. So without further ado, let's get into the video. For today's recipe, the only ingredients you're going to need are butter, flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, milk, 2 cups of any type of fruit. They recommend peaches, nectarines, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, or combo. I did strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries. And then you also have to use additional sugar, just a little bit for the top. But that's all. It's all really simple, and most of these ingredients you probably already have at home. And it's a really good use if you have any berries that are about to go bad. So you can, use them and make something delicious like this instead of just having to throw them out in a couple days. Alrighty, so to start, I'm placing my butter into a 9-inch pan. I just used this pie pan that I had. And then I'm going to place it into the oven and let it melt there. At this point, you want to make sure that you are heating your oven to 350 degrees. Now, my oven is weird, and that's why I preheated it to 400. But that's all you're going to do, and then just leave it in there. Mine took about maybe 7 minutes in the oven, but yours may vary. So maybe check it after 5 minutes to make sure it's all melted. For the next step, you are going to want to whisk the flour with the larger amount of sugar, baking powder, and salt in a small bowl. One thing I'd like to say for this recipe is that I found on All Recipes, and I find that that's a really helpful website for beginner cooks or bakers. I love just Googling whatever I want. So for this recipe, I just Googled Cobbler recipe, and then this is one that came up. But I love All Recipes because they give you lots of reviews. So sometimes you can check the reviews and hear what people say. So sometimes people are like, oh, add in vanilla to this, or oh, I substituted this for this and it turned out really, really good, or stuff like that. So I find that if you're a beginner cook or baker and you're looking for please find good recipes, I would check All Recipes because they have some pretty helpful tips and tricks there. I'm continuing making my batter here by adding in my milk, and I'm going to stir until it's a smooth batter. Eventually, I believe I also grab a spatula to kind of help just make sure that there's nothing left on the bottom, because no one wants to get a clump of the flour mixture, so you really just want to whisk this all up. And after about 5 to 7 minutes, I went back to my oven and checked on the butter, and it was all melted. Now, I did kind of notice a skin kind of form on the top of the butter, but don't worry. I don't know why I saw that, but nothing happened to it, and it was alright. So it's almost time to put it in the oven. And to get ready to do that, I have to add the batter into the dish with the butter. Now be careful, I did have a pot holder under my pan because it is hot. And you just want to pour all the batter in there. And at this point, you do not want to mix the butter and the batter. I know it might be tempting to mix it together, but I assure you don't. Because what happens is when it goes in the oven, the edges get all crispy and just very delicious. So don't mix it. Lastly, I'm going to add in the berries and then add on top the sugar. Now for the berries, I did pre-dice the strawberries into a small dice, but then the raspberries and then the blueberries I just left whole. And then again here, I just poured it on and then kind of smoothed out the top, but I didn't really mix it at all. Just kind of smoothed it so everything was around. But I thought I was looking kind of strange right now, and I was a little worried for the outcome, but it turned out beautifully, so don't worry about that. And then I went ahead and added on the sugar, and some people might be wondering, why would you do this? Well, sometimes they put sugar on top of blueberry muffins before they bake, and then they come out all they have this extra little crisp on the top, and I think that's what this was for, and it was perfection, really good, so I wouldn't skip this step. And off in the oven it went. So again, your oven should be at 350. Mine is weird, so disregard the 400. But I cooked mine for a total of probably 45 minutes. So you want to start checking after 30 minutes. For me, I don't show this, but at 30 minutes, mine was getting browned on the top and golden, but it wasn't fully cooked, so I placed a sheet of tinfoil over the top and cooked it for about 15 minutes more, and then it was perfect. So start checking your oven at 30 minutes because this is earlier than what the recipe says online. Before I continue this video, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, comment down below if you'd like to see next, and share this video with a friend. I have a goal of 100 subscribers, so if you could please help me that'd be greatly appreciated. Alrighty guys, now back to the video. And like I said before, after about the 45 minutes, I took it out. Now, you may have noticed my oven was at 350. I forgot to mention, for the last 15 minutes, I did turn it down to 350. So, for everyone else, that means probably turning your oven down to 300 after 30 minutes, or whenever you see that the top is getting browned. But still put the tinfoil on top. I still did that. And I cut it up, and I got my final result of this delicious fruit cobbler. My whole family said it was like a billion out of 10. It was so good. The crispy edges, the fruit with a little bit of batter, it was so good. Now, I was kind of a little bit confused though because to me, I've seen more of a cobbler. I guess I was thinking of a crumble, but this is a cobbler. And so I Googled the definition of cobbler, and what I found is that like what you're seeing here, a cobbler is something with like a battered top, something like this. So, I think usually the fruit goes under and the batter goes on top, but this is kind of reversal. But I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know, I guess I thought that cobbler and crumble were like the same word, just intertwined, but they're actually different. Crumble is like, sometimes, I don't know if anyone out there has had like an apple crumble or a pear crumble or, I don't know, a peach crumble. It's more like an oaty, kind of like clustered top, whereas this is more like a cake. But this was still delicious. And if you try it out, you'll have to let me know in the comments down below if my tips helped you and if you like this video. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and turn that notification bell on so you get notified when I post a new video. Also, follow me on Instagram at Cooks by Carrie. I post lots of photos of the food I cook and also updates. That's it for today's video. I had a lot of fun making it. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any suggestions for my future videos, always leave them down below. I'm eager to hear your thoughts.